The Tale of the Magic Plate. The Tale of the Magic Plate. Once upon a time, in the bustling village of Sunnyside, there lived a cheerful little girl named Lily. Lily was known for her bright smile and kind heart, but there was one thing she always struggled with: finishing her meals. Every night at dinner, Lily would push her food around her plate, leaving most of it uneaten. One sunny afternoon, as Lily was playing in the forest near her home, she stumbled upon a peculiar sight. There, in a small clearing, sat a large, shimmering plate on a tree stump. It was adorned with intricate designs and sparkled like nothing she had ever seen before. Curiosity got the better of her, and she reached out to touch it. As soon as Lily's fingers brushed the plate, a magical voice echoed through the clearing. "Greetings, young one. I am the Magic Plate, and I have been waiting for someone with a pure heart like yours." Lily gasped in amazement and asked, "What makes you so special, Magic Plate?" The plate replied, "I have the power to turn any meal into the most delicious feast imaginable. But there is a condition. The person who eats from me must finish their meal, or else they will lose something precious to them." Lily's eyes widened with excitement. She couldn't wait to try the magic plate. She ran home and told her parents about her discovery. Her mother, amused but indulgent, decided to serve dinner on the magic plate that evening. As the sun set, Lily's mother placed a modest serving of vegetables, chicken, and rice on the plate. To Lily's surprise, the moment the food touched the plate, it transformed into a delectable spread. The vegetables turned into golden roasted delights, the chicken into a succulent, fragrant dish, and the rice into a flavorful pilaf. The aroma filled the room, and Lily's mouth watered. Excitedly, Lily took her first bite. It was the most delicious food she had ever tasted. She ate eagerly, but soon began to slow down. As always, she started to feel full and left a portion of her meal untouched. Suddenly, the room grew dim, and the magic plate began to glow ominously. A booming voice filled the air. "Lily, you have not finished your meal. As warned, something precious will be taken." Before Lily could react, she felt a strange sensation and looked down to find her beloved toy bunny, Fluffy, disappearing before her eyes. "No, Fluffy!" she cried, but it was too late. The bunny was gone. Devastated, Lily realized the seriousness of the magic plate's condition. Determined to get Fluffy back, she resolved to always finish her meals. The next day, and the days that followed, Lily ate every bite on her plate, savoring the delicious food and remembering the lesson she had learned. One evening, after weeks of diligent eating, the magic plate glowed brightly once more. The voice returned, but this time it was gentle. "Lily, you have proven your resolve and learned the importance of not wasting food. Your precious Fluffy shall be returned." In a flash of light, Fluffy reappeared on the table, looking just as he had before. Lily hugged her toy bunny tightly, tears of joy streaming down her face. She thanked the magic plate, which shimmered one last time before returning to its ordinary appearance. From that day on, Lily never left her meals unfinished. She grew strong and healthy, and the villagers admired her transformation. She also shared her story with the other children, teaching them the importance of appreciating and finishing their food. And so the legend of the magic plate lived on, reminding everyone in Sunnyside that food is a precious gift to be cherished and not wasted. magic of Santa's cookies. Every Christmas Eve, the Thompson house buzzed with excitement. 8-year-old Minnie Thompson had a favorite tradition: baking cookies for Santa Claus. She loved everything about Christmas: the sparkling lights, the smell of pine, and especially the magic of Santa. But this year, something truly extraordinary was about to happen. Minnie's kitchen was a whirlwind of activity. As she measured out sugar and flour, she couldn't help but smile, thinking about how much joy her cookies brought to Santa every year. This tradition was her favorite part of Christmas, a way to feel connected to the magic of the season. Her excitement bubbled over as she imagined Santa's face lighting up at the taste of her cookies. The counters were covered in flour, sugar, and colorful sprinkles. A pile of cookie cutters, stars, bells, and reindeer sat ready to go. Her dog Max wagged his tail happily at her feet, as if he knew something magical was about to happen. "Mom, can I add extra chocolate chips?" Minnie asked, holding a bowl of cookie dough. "Of course, sweetheart," her mom said with a smile, adjusting the twinkling fairy lights on the tree. Once the cookies were shaped and on the tray, Minnie slid them into the oven and set the timer. She placed a glass of milk and a plate for the cookies by the fireplace, then wrote her usual note to Santa. "Dear Santa, thanks for bringing so much joy every year. I hope you like the cookies. Merry Christmas. Love, Minnie." With everything ready, Minnie headed to bed, her heart full of excitement. But little did she know, the night was just getting started. At midnight, Minnie woke to the sound of soft, jingling bells. A golden light sparkled in her room. She sat up and gasped. Standing at the foot of her bed was Santa Claus himself. His rosy cheeks glowed and his eyes twinkled like stars. He held a shiny sack that sparkled with a magical glow. "Minnie," Santa said warmly, "I've come to thank you." "Santa," Minnie whispered, rubbing her eyes, "is it really you?" "Yes, it's me," Santa said with a hearty laugh. "Every year your cookies bring me so much joy. This year I wanted to thank you in person." Minnie's eyes widened. "You actually eat my cookies?" "Of course," Santa said with a smile. "They're the best in the world, but tonight I have something special for you." Santa reached into his sack and pulled out a golden cookie tin. The tin shimmered like it was made of starlight, with intricate engravings of tiny reindeer and snowflakes that seemed to come alive, twirling and dancing across its surface as it caught the light. It was covered in tiny reindeer and snowflakes that seemed to dance on their own. "This is no ordinary tin," Santa explained. "Anything you bake with it will bring happiness and kindness to everyone who eats it." "Really?" Minnie asked, her eyes shining. "Really," Santa said. "But remember, its magic only works if you bake with love in your heart." Minnie hugged the tin tightly. "Thank you, Santa. This is the best gift ever." Santa wasn't done. "How about we bake something together tonight?" he asked. "Bake? With you?" Minnie could hardly believe her ears. "Yes," Santa said. With a wave of his hand, they were suddenly in the kitchen. The room sparkled with stardust, and the ingredients on the counter shimmered like magic. The oven hummed a cheerful tune, and the air smelled like cinnamon and chocolate. Minnie and Santa got to work, mixing and measuring while laughing together. Santa let Minnie take the lead, and Max barked happily, chasing an enchanted rolling pin around the floor. The flour seemed to dance, and the sugar turned into glowing snowflakes as they baked. "What kind of cookie should we make?" Minnie asked. "Something that makes everyone smile," Santa said. Suddenly, a golden light burst from the tin, creating a recipe that floated in midair. It read, "Starry Night Cookies." "How about these?" Santa asked. "Perfect," Minnie said, her eyes sparkling. They carefully followed the recipe, and soon the kitchen was filled with the most wonderful smell. When the cookies were done, they sparkled as if they held tiny stars. Each cookie had a little constellation that twinkled when you looked closely. When they finished baking, Santa looked at Minnie with a smile. "It's almost time for me to go," he said, "but I have one more surprise." He tapped the golden tin, and the cookies inside multiplied until it was full again. "This tin will never run out as long as you share its cookies generously. Every bite will spread joy and a little Christmas magic." Minnie's eyes filled with happy tears. "Thank you, Santa. I promise to share them with everyone." Santa patted her head. "I know you will." With a wave of his hand, the room returned to normal. Only the golden tin in Minnie's hands and a faint sparkle in the air showed that the magical night had really happened. The next morning, Minnie woke up wondering if it had all been a dream. But there on her nightstand was the golden tin. She smiled and ran to show her parents, who were amazed by its beauty. From then on, Minnie used the tin to bake cookies for friends, family, and anyone who needed a little happiness. Her cookies became famous in the neighborhood, and everyone said they felt better after eating them. Every Christmas Eve, Minnie still left cookies and milk by the fireplace, because no matter how magical her tin was, nothing could replace the joy of baking for Santa. Aisha and the Seeds of the New Year. Once upon a time, in a small, peaceful village, there lived a curious little girl named Aisha. Aisha was 7 years old and loved asking questions about everything. She would often sit by the window of her cozy house, watching the seasons change, and wonder about the world around her. As the year was coming to an end, Aisha began to notice that everyone in the village seemed to be talking about the new year. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills and painted the sky with hues of orange and pink, Aisha sat beside her mother by the fireplace. Her grandfather, Baba, was a kind and wise old man who always had the best stories to tell. "Baba," Aisha began, her eyes twinkling with curiosity, "why does everyone seem excited about the new year? What's so special about it? And what are these resolutions I keep hearing about?" Baba chuckled softly, stroking his white beard. "Ah, my dear Aisha, the new year is like a fresh start. It's a time when people reflect on the past year and make promises to themselves to become better or try something new. These promises are called resolutions." Aisha tilted her head. "But why do people need to wait for the new year to make promises? Can't they do it any time?" Baba smiled. You're absolutely right, Aisha, but the new year feels like opening a new book with blank pages. It's a chance to write new stories and leave behind the things that didn't go well. Let me tell you a story about a little boy named Omar who learned the importance of resolutions and how to keep them. Aisha snuggled closer, ready to listen. Omar was just about your age, full of energy and dreams. But he often struggled to finish what he started. One week he wanted to learn the flute, and the next he switched to painting. Whenever things got difficult, Omar felt discouraged and gave up. As the new year approached, Omar's mother suggested he make a resolution to stick to one hobby for the whole year. Omar liked the idea, but wasn't sure he could do it. "What if I get bored, Mama?" he asked. His mother smiled and said, "Boredom is just your mind asking for a challenge. You must be patient and see things through." That night, Omar visited his grandfather, much like you're visiting me now. His grandfather, who everyone called Dada, was known for his wisdom. Omar told Dada about his dilemma. Dada thought for a moment and then said, "Omar, let me tell you a secret about resolutions. Planting seeds. If you water them and give them sunlight, they grow into strong, beautiful trees. But if you forget about them, they wither away." Omar's eyes lit up. "So if I keep working on my resolution, it will grow into something wonderful?" Dada nodded. "Exactly, but remember, patience and effort are the water and sunlight for your seeds." Inspired by his grandfather's words, Omar chose to stick with learning the flute. Every day he practiced for a little while. Some days were harder than others, and sometimes he felt like quitting. But he remembered Dada's words and kept going. By the end of the year, Omar could play beautiful melodies that filled the village with joy. Aisha clapped her hands. "That's a wonderful story, Baba. But what if Omar had given up?" Baba chuckled. "If Omar had given up, he wouldn't have experienced the pride and happiness that comes from achieving something difficult. You see, Aisha, resolutions teach us resilience and the value of perseverance. When we overcome challenges, it makes our success feel even sweeter. Sometimes we succeed, and sometimes we don't. But the important part is that we try and keep trying." Aisha thought for a moment, then asked, "Baba, can I make a resolution for the new year?" "Of course, my dear. What would you like to achieve?" Aisha pondered for a while. "I want to learn how to draw better. Drawing makes me happy to bring my ideas to life, but I often stop when I make mistakes. I want to keep practicing, just like Omar." Baba nodded approvingly. "That's a wonderful resolution, Aisha. And remember, mistakes are part of the learning process. Each mistake is a stepping stone to becoming better." As the new year arrived, Aisha began her journey. Every day, she spent a little time drawing. Some drawings were wonderful, while others were not, as she hoped. But Baba's words echoed in her heart, reminding her to keep going. By the next new year, Aisha's sketchbook was filled with beautiful drawings. As she flipped through the pages, she smiled, remembering the time she had wanted to give up but didn't. She had grown not only as an artist, but also as someone who understood the value of perseverance and hard work. One evening, as she sat by the fire with Baba once again, she looked up at him and said, "Baba, I think I understand why people make New Year resolutions now. It's not just about achieving things. It's about learning, growing, and never giving up." Baba smiled, his eyes twinkling. "You've learned a valuable lesson, Aisha. The new year is like the sunrise after a long night, reminding us that each day brings a chance to start fresh. It's a time to let go of doubts and fill our hearts with hope and courage." Resolutions are like stars, guiding us through the year, showing us that even the smallest efforts can shine brightly. And that, my dear, is a gift worth celebrating every year. As Aisha drifted off to sleep that night, she imagined herself planting seeds of dreams and watching them grow, nurtured by her determination. She dreamed of new resolutions and adventures, knowing that with patience, effort, and belief in herself, she could accomplish anything she set her heart on.